Fitin10 Nation, it is day 2 of the challenge, and got through some more scans today. We are almost done. I just have to run about another 8 or 10 tomorrow, and then they will all be done, and then I will formally send out your numbers. Although you already have your numbers, that is, if you've had your scan, you've got your numbers, so you can get rolling and at least give it your best effort. Okay, I know this first week is a transitional week, but do your absolute best to be as perfect as you can. Okay, I am going to ask that you guys try to get within 10% of your macro numbers that I give you. Okay. Also, just to prepare you, and I know I've mentioned this many times already to a lot of you, or maybe all of you already. Your protein intake will go up as the weeks go on, okay? So just be aware of that, all right? And I'm going to tell you that people are already sending me their food, so this is really good, and this is a sign that they will do well. And that's not to say that if you don't do it, you won't do well, because a lot of people have done really well in the past who haven't done it, so you don't have to do it, but it is a sign of accountability, which, as I mentioned to you guys a couple weeks ago in the presentation information session, that accountability, I think, is a huge stimulus for building momentum and keeping you going really, really strong, so that you can be as successful as possible in this challenge. All right. You know what? I also want to tell you one of our other winners, because I think this was really cool. This was our winner of the fall 2019 challenge. This particular person, she was young, 21, 22 years old. She worked 3 jobs and went to school full time. I don't even know how she did it. She was in the challenge. She put up a calendar on her wall. She marked down all her workouts that she was going to do for the next 10 weeks, like which days and times she was going to do them. She put down her schedule for when she was going to make food each week. She put down her shopping days, her days that she was going to go out and pick up supplements, etc., etc. Her cardio times. She planned out everything for the next 10 weeks, and consequently, she went on to win the challenge. I don't think that was, again, I don't think that was by coincidence, right? Again, that accountability. I mean, really, she was just making herself accountable by putting it out there, right? So, if you lay it down on paper or in a calendar, it's more likely to happen. If you write it down, you put it in your electronic calendar, it's more likely to happen, okay? Rather than saying, oh, I'll do 3 workouts this week. I'm not sure when, but they'll happen, okay? Just set them aside, put them in your calendar. I mean, you guys got to register for classes anyway, so I guess that does make you more accountable. We used to not ask you guys to do that, okay? But now, since we've got to do... since COVID came along, I guess we can look at all the positives that have come out of it. And one of them is you have to pre-register for our classes, okay? All right, let's talk about protein powders, because I'm already getting questions about this, and I think it's a great topic to go on in the beginning, since a lot of you are going to have a hard time with protein. So I will talk about one protein powder that I really like, and that is a company called Magnum. Their protein powder is called Quattro. It's not vegan friendly. This is whey based. Okay, so if you're vegan, I wouldn't have that. I do have a vegan recommendation, but this is, if you're not vegan, okay, this is a protein powder that I highly recommend. It is pharmaceutical grade. That basically means that this is made in a pharmaceutical factory, and they have to abide by pharmaceutical standards, which means what is on the label is actually in here. If it's not pharmaceutical grade, then, it's a bit of the Wild West, and you can be way off label claim, like way off, okay? So I'm going to highly recommend that you buy a pharmaceutical grade protein powder if you're going to buy one, or a pharmaceutical grade supplement for that matter, if you're going to buy any kind of supplement. I also like this one because the flavor is awesome and the purity is very high in this. When I say purity, I'm talking about you take the overall serving size, okay, which is whatever in this case, I think 35 grams. And you get the overall protein here, which is 30 grams. So, virtually everything you're getting here is protein, okay? So, great product. I've known the owner for 15 years, okay? I've used their products for pretty much that entire time. So, really good line. It's locally based, actually. Even though it's in about, I think, 38 countries, it originated in White Rock, okay? So, that is the one non-vegan powder I'd recommend. The next one is Vega Sport. Okay, Vega is really good. Okay, it's a great company, I think. I particularly don't. A lot of the flavors I don't like. Okay, and it's really hard to get a flavoring because this is primarily pea protein. But the Vega One. So this is Vega Sport. The Vega One chocolate is really good. I think it tastes really, really good. So that's the one I'd recommend if you're going to get one. The reason I have Vega Sport here is this one's a little more pure. Okay, the reason why this one is more pure, I shouldn't say pure, it's higher in protein per serving. Okay, you've got a higher amount of protein there per serving, is because this one doesn't have a vegetable and fruit blend in it. Okay, the Vega one does. All right, so if you want just a pure protein, if you're just going for protein, like I need protein, and you're a vegetarian or you're vegan, well, you could have the Quattro for vegetarian, but if you're vegan, this would be a good one to have. Okay, so another great product. I'm not currently using the Vega one right now. It is a little more expensive, so but I do go through basically periods of using it and then not using it. All right, so I don't want you to live off of this stuff, by the way. Definitely no more than a third of your protein. That would be the max that I would have. Okay, so a third of your protein coming from the powders. All right, I want you to try to get some real whole food in your diet. All right, okay. Let's get to the message of the day. And the message of the day is this: if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. It's true, okay? You cannot wing this. You cannot wing this. I say this every challenge. You cannot wing this challenge. You can't. You have to plan it out. Okay, well, I mean, I guess you can wing it, but you're not going to do well, okay? If you want to do well and you want to be successful, you have to plan it out, okay? Trust me, you can't just eat like virtually whatever you want in the day, plug it in to your MyFitnessPal at the end of the night, and then look and be like, okay, how far off am I? No, that's not going to work, okay? You got to plan it out. All right? So set aside those times. I would put them in your calendar, just like you do with your workouts. Hopefully you're going to do that. Set aside those days when you're going to food prep, okay? And we'll talk about that in some of the near future videos. Set aside days where you're going to cook up some proteins. Maybe it's going to be some meats or some other sources of protein. And of course some carbohydrates. Maybe you're gonna, batch make some yams or some rice or something like that, okay? So that it's ready to go, and all you have to do is just portion it out, okay? So plan everything out in advance, okay? I'll say it again, and I'll say it again in the future, okay? But I'm saying it again right now. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail, okay? Planning is everything in this. Be accountable, at the very least to yourself, okay? At least to your calendar, all right? Okay, guys, positive energy, positive vibes. Believe in yourself and always give gratitude. I'll talk to you all very soon. And if you want, you can send me your food journals, all right? Send them to me in Slack. I'll talk to you all very soon. See you guys.